Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a Heroes Unlimited story, actually more of an advice video, Heroes Unlimited advice video on good guys and bad guys. Um, I've been playing tabletop role-playing games for over 45 years. It never ceases to amaze me how morals and the sense of law and order and justice fall to the wayside when a player makes up a superpowered character, especially in Heroes Unlimited. I could have done this in virtually any tabletop role-playing game genre, this particular video, but I chose Heroes Unlimited because it fits a little better. Superheroes are supposed to be heroes, you know? For whatever reason, players seem to think superpowers absolve their characters of any sins and might makes right. They seem to think that because their character saves the world or takes down a major crime figure, they can ignore petty little things like helping lost children or rescuing stranded motorists. Yeah. Before I get too deep into this, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you'd hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on social media, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, all 7 of them. I like to think I write good stories that make you think. All right, good guys and bad guys. I had a player once named David. David was a friend of a friend type of thing. He wanted to run a character like Wolverine or Batman. Seeing as those are 2 completely different characters, we kind of did an amalgam. I said, okay, and he created a mutant with healing factor, animal abilities, extraordinary speed, extraordinary physical prowess, and radar. It was, I guess, a cross between Wolverine and Daredevil, but he could see and he was wealthy. So there you go. The character was a real badass. He was. I credit to David. He made up a badass character. David became the street villain's worst nightmare. Thugs, lowlifes, muggers, and thieves ran in fear from him. At one point, the crime stats dropped simply because the criminals were afraid to go out on the streets. And rightly so. Then, David graduated to organized crime. He took down 2 major criminal organizations almost single-handedly and with brutal efficiency. I mean, he really was taking it to them. Unfortunately, he was not a hero. He was as much a violent psychopath as the criminals he hunted. There were at least 6 different times where he had the opportunity to help ordinary people with ordinary problems. A woman who ran out of gas trying to reach the gas station. A child who was lost and wandering the streets. A cop who was chasing a shoplifter. That sort of thing. All because he had more important things to do. More important things going on. Eventually, he began attacking and killing people that he thought might commit crimes. The rest of the group intervened at that point, and David got angry because everyone was picking on him. Yeah, Dave stopped playing with us after that. Another player, Jim, created a very powerful character who controlled both magnetism and gravity. Jim never even pretended to be a hero. Jim was part of a hero organization, but he robbed, murdered, and destroyed property just like any megalomaniac. And when the rest of the group tried to stop him, he defeated them all. His character was extremely powerful. Finally, one player, a weapons specialist, figured out where he slept, and he put a bullet in Jim's brain pan. Jim was angry, but his character was dead. There was nothing, when you're asleep, you're asleep. That's all there is to it. And because of the damage that Jim was doing, I couldn't really fault the other guy. There was no way he was going to stop the guy. He did what he could, and he saved a lot of lives. That's one thing, it's one thing to create a villain and be a villain. That's expected. But if a player character creates a hero, he or she should at least try to be a hero. When a hero forgets about the people he or she is supposed to be protecting, he or she has no right to even pretend to be a hero. If any normal person cannot stop to help a lost and crying child, how can they even pretend to call themselves human beings? What's the point of creating a superhero if you refuse to be a hero? If you're going to be a villain, find a like-minded group and make up a villain. I've run groups of villains before, you know. But if you do become a villain in the course of the game, don't be surprised or angry that the other players, you know, the heroes, try to stop you. After all, that's what good guys do. They stop bad guys. And I use two examples here, but there are dozens. I have literally lost count of the number of players who make up a quote unquote hero, and this guy is as dangerous to the civilian populace as you may as well drop bombs on the city, you know. And it's just ridiculous. I was playing in a game one time, and there were 5 players. I was running a game. There were 5 players, 4 of which became, you know, I figured the first guy started doing it, and then another guy said, well, if he's doing it and getting away with it, I can do it. The third guy said, well, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. And the fourth guy said, screw it, I'm in too. The only good guy that was a hero that was left couldn't defeat them all. So he went to the government for help. The government ended up sanctioning the group, and in order for them to stay out of prison because they were committing crimes, they ended up working for the government, and the one lone guy that went there, became the leader. The rest of the group was upset and decided not to play anymore. Well, what the hell else are they supposed to do? If you're a hero, be a hero. If you're a villain, be a villain. Do not blur the lines. There's gray in everybody. I get that. There's middle ground. But if you can't, like I said, if you can't stop to help somebody in need, if you can't stop to help a crying child who's lost, if you can't help, go get a gallon of gas and bring to the lady. Push her car. If you're powerful enough, push the car to the gas station for her. You know, something, anything. If you can't stop for the mundane like that, you got no business calling yourself a superhero. That's all I'm saying. Don't lose sight of the little things to focus on the big picture. That's one of the main things of this. I hope this finds everybody well. And again, if somebody has a different opinion, put it in the comments. You know, I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. There is a house in New Orleans where the monsters all hang out. When the police detective, who happens to be a skinwalker squirrel, uncovers a plot by a paranormal perpetrator, he has to enlist the aid of his fellow housemates. If you enjoy a modern, quirky take on historical mythology, check out my new original novel, The House Off Farago Road.